All right, Maddie. SummerSlam Rewind coming your way. Wrestle Mats, Maddie Reiser, Matt Kelly. We are back with another one. Got Roman Reigns and Jey Uso just a couple of years ago in a tribal combat match, Maddie, which I don't know what the hell tribal combat is. It seems
Oh.
like a no DQ match, yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
all of them, right?
no holds bar, no DQ, tribal combat, whatever the case may be. But here we are, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and buddy, let's just start with the. Did you watch the video package with this too?
I did. Kind of took us
Okay.
back to this dominant run of Roman Reigns and just all the emotion, this soap opera and storytelling, just so many layers to it.
Yeah, for as much as I don't necessarily still to this day know explicitly what a tribal combat match entails or how it separates itself within the WWE spectrum of matches, I did like for the fact that they did show the part where Jey Uso revealed that it was going to be a tribal combat match, and you see Roman Reigns. He's kind of not paying attention to Jey, right? He's kind of just downplaying Jey as a challenger. But then, as soon as he says it's a tribal combat match, he like instantly looks up and says,
Yeah.
"Wait, do the elders know about this?" And Jey says it was their idea, and then you realize
Ooh,
that this feud isn't necessarily just about the championship, though it is a little bit about that, right? But it's really
right.
about the respect of the elders, the family, the head of the table, the Ulafala, like all the things are encompassing in this feud.
Yeah, it's the leader of the tribe, man. And
Yeah.
that's what he is. He's the big dog. So to see kind of Jey Uso in his early stages of kind of evolving to the Eat Master that he is, it was kind of cool to see that story and just see. I always say it. This is what separated Jey Uso was that emotion that you get on his facials, everything like that, and that story definitely brought us to there.
Man, oh man, though, his entrance to this match, Jey Uso. In my head, Maddie, we have been yeeting forever, man. Like
Yeah,
we have been yeeting forever. And then Jey Uso comes out at this SummerSlam, just like everybody else, out of the tunnel. There's no yeeting, there's no rhythmic to the music, there's none of this fanfare. People, I think the crowd is still kind of unsure about Jey Uso to this point. Now they do get behind him later on in the match, but like on the initial entrance, the difference between him walking out and Roman Reigns walking out is absolutely night and day. Obviously, it would be different if we're talking about present day, but
right.
in this particular entrance, completely night and day, man.
Yeah, I just think he's just not there yet. There's something missing, and I think that's where that entrance is just levels him up that much more because you do kind of like he seems a lot more simpler. It's almost
Yes.
like he's still in
Yes.
that mid card at this point. He's getting that rub from Roman Reigns, but we're just not quite fully emotionally invested in Jey Uso. But I did love the attire being all white. He's wearing white
Yeah.
pants. You kind of see the good versus evil.
Yep.
And that I think is a big part of the story here with these guys.
Yeah, I like what you said there. I think that's part of the reaction or lack thereof, right, from the crowd is the crowd's not sure is this the time where we're really getting behind Jey Uso as a single star, or is this just like kind of a one-off before he goes back to being, a tag team wrestler with his brother? And I mean, that's great. Don't get me wrong. The
Yeah.
Usos as a tag team, amazing, tremendous. But you don't know if this is truly going to be their separating point, and we get that answer later on, in fact, through this match. But Maddie, this match ends up being like 35, 36 minutes. And then you got the entrances, you
Oh,
got the after. I texted you. I was like, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't remember it being,
it was
I didn't
long, man.
remember it being this long. Yeah, it's a doozy to go back and watch. But I will say too, I was talking about this with a buddy just recently, and this match is slow. It's just honestly slow. It's a very
Yeah.
slow paced match. In fact, I don't think we get a pinfall until about 12 to 15 minutes into the
Hmm.
match. And Roman Reigns, his matches they're definitely more a methodical pace for sure. So it's not like this constant high flying, high rev energy sort of action. And this is definitely that, but I don't know. Is there something to it being methodical when it is about like a blood feud for the Ulafa, not necessarily when it's a more personal sort of rivalry?
I think too. I think there's layers to this match, which was nice. I think there's also like I just think that's Roman's style. Like you saw his entrance
I can agree. Yeah.
is kind of he takes his sweet ass time, and I think that's part of
Yeah.
his persona as a heel, as like kind of this, I'm better than you. Yeah, like he does it so good. He does it with Jey Uso. He does it with the crowd, even the way the way he acts, and then the way like when they say, you suck, Roman sucks or something, and how it kind of messes with him mentally. Like it's a mind game with him in it, which I
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
But like you said, I do think the story was told right. It was just mentally you have to be prepared for something that long,
I do
which
think
is
there's
hard.
yes, I do think there's aspects of this match that actually remind me of Io Sky and Rhea Ripley at Evolution in that, Roman for the most part of the match kind of has all the counters, kind of has Jay's number. There's a lot of the match where you just feel like Roman is in control, and that's what I was watching as well with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. Io's got all the answers. She's got all the reversals. She's in control basically of the whole match, and you're wondering, all right, well, where is Jay going to take control? Where can he get an opening? And it takes a pretty hot minute, for Jay to really get like some actual offense. And I'm saying actual offense in the sense that okay, can we even get to a fault? Can we get to a 2 count? If
Right.
plays on Roman Reigns, it takes a minute for that, and I think that's actually kind of a good part of the story because we're still buying into Jay as a single star, and we're also still buying into the possibility of Jay actually beating Roman.
When I think that's an important level of Jay's progression is he's not on
Yes.
Roman's level. So you need those high spots. You need kind of how he, makes these aerial maneuvers outside the ring. He
Yep.
uses weapons. He's doing anything, he can, but at the same time, mentally, everything's taking a toll on him. So I think that's storytelling wise, it all checks all the boxes. Like how you tell this story with Roman being dominant. He's what, a 2-3 year champion at this point. Like this is an uphill battle for Jay, and I think they do a good job of kind of turning the toll and then bringing you back down. And like I said, I love that Jay had to use these big spots to kind of get the momentum back instead of just, out wrestling Roman Reigns. That would have done nothing. So,
Yeah, yeah, no, agreed. You had to see a point in the match where Jay was like willing to flip the switch, and I think for me the one that stood out is where he's got the uh why can I not think the kendo stick?
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But he just whips, the absolute dog shit out of Roman Reigns with this kendo stick to the point where it actually cuts and splinters off into Jay's hand. You see him look down, and then later on
Yeah.
in the match, you can actually see blood running down Jay's hand a little bit. But ultimately, the story that ends up getting told for the most part, for as much as Jay was able to flip that switch and kind of find a new gear, Roman Reigns ultimately just has one extra trick up the up the sleeve. He's always one step ahead planning wise. So it's like, all right, well, if I don't have you to rely on, then I've got Solo. And seeing Solo not in his current version it took me out of the loop as well. He still wasn't even wearing shoes or anything like that. This particular Solo, he was still like very stoic and things of that nature. But Maddie, the end of this match is where I want to go and see what you remember about this. So it looks like Jey Uso is going to capture his first world title and against Roman Reigns nonetheless. But then we get somebody in a hoodie outside the ring pulling out Jey Uso, and it turns out to be Jimmy Uso taking his own brother out of this match. And Maddie, this is already after so many things, after the Money in the Bank, where Roman was pinned, in that tag match for the first time in a very long time. This is well, you're out of the bloodline. Well, guess what? I'm out too. So you had all of that, which was a massive pop for the Usos. So for this to be brought back around, I remember thinking it didn't make sense at the time. I would argue it still doesn't make sense to me to this day. I didn't like it then. I don't like it now.
Yeah, the flip flop, like I remember this, but I forgot about it. So to me, it was like one of those like I think I think it could have been just as effective to have Jimmy come out and help Jay, and then you introduce somebody else, a part of the bloodline. But to me, yeah, it was just kind of like it felt like we were backtracking on a story that was already played out and kind of told. And
Right.
that I remember, I remember how iconic to me when one gets kicked out of the bloodline, and then that super kick. Well, if he's out, I am too. Like that's brotherhood. That's to me
Yeah.
that click. That was cinema. That's what that was to me. That made it even better of a story. So to have it kind of circle back, I was kind of like, man, like I completely forgot about this, and like why, and like to me, it was kind of a faux pas in this whole story. So to me, it was just
Oh,
like,
agreed.
yeah, it was just kind of a letdown. I think you could have just had Jay lose clean with Roman Reigns, and it means
Yeah.
just as much.
Yeah, the if I'm out or if you're out, I'm out too. To me, is the lightning in the bottle to the story, and then trying to kind of put it back in to to capture it again. Like it just didn't work the second time around, and I don't think it's technically really worked out for Jimmy Uso and his heel sort of run that he's having either. So be that as it may, Roman Reigns ends up retaining here in this match. Maddie, what are you giving this one ultimately?
It's tough, man, because I love the story. I didn't love the ending. I didn't love the length.
Hmm.
Um, and it's so polarizing for a SummerSlam main event.
Yeah,
I couldn't even now, and I couldn't even then think that Jey Uso was going to be world champion.
sure.
So that takes away a lot of, this is a big stage. This is the biggest blowout of the summer. This is SummerSlam. And I don't think this was the right place for this match, for this ending. I think
Mm,
this could have been somewhere else. So there are layers to it. I love seeing Roman. Like Roman, we'll get to it on one of our shorts with the, Roman Reigns edition. Who would you rather have? Peak Roman Reigns or this? I think we are in peak Roman Reigns here. I just don't
sure.
think Jay was ready. I don't think WWE was ready for Jay, and Jay wasn't ready for WWE yet to be the main guy. I didn't hate it. It was long. It had some creative stuff. I'm going to go an 8. I think an 8 solid for these two guys. Nothing didn't seem like 9 or 10 to me.
All right. Well, here is, I think, maybe throughout this series, our biggest disagreement so far. I'm at a 6. I'm at
Yeah.
a 6 on this one.
Oh shit. Okay.
Kinda for the reasons that you mentioned, though. It's entirely too long.
Yeah.
The pace does just drag, and I get that we're saying it's what you're in for with a Roman Reigns match, but the pace just drags, man. I don't think there was enough false
Yeah.
finishes. I don't think there was a point or enough points where you felt like Jay was in control and had the possibility to win. And then ultimately, man, that ending with Jimmy coming back, both from like the ending of the match itself, but also in just the bigger scope of things, the where it backtracks the story to. I just can't get there, man. It really kind of took me out. I was like, man, I just dedicated basically an hour to this thing to get this ending. Yeah, man, it took me out. So I'm at a 6. I
All right.
honestly
So
probably I wouldn't go back and rewatch.
let's talk this out real quick then, because me being at an 8, so you being at a 6, are you saying the would you rather match or this match?
I'm sorry, you cut out just a little bit there. Which match?
Did you get that? Yeah, so we've reviewed, so many matches. Let's say I did a 8, you did a 6. That comes to a median score of a 7. This would
Mhm.
be our second lowest ranked match at a median score. Behind, only ahead of Mick Foley, Ric Flair. Did you tell Mick Foley how low you had
No,
his
no,
SummerSlam
no,
match at
no,
'06
no,
was? Fuck. We missed
no.
opportunity there. Jeff Hardy, CM Punk, or this match?
Uh, they're in the same bucket. really for me in terms of
Okay.
like overall value, but I think there was at least enough back and forth with Jeff and Punk. I'll take Jeff and Punk.
Okay. That's kind of where it's at. It's
Yeah.
right there at the bottom. And I mean, median score of 7 is not really awful, but it just shows you like how we rank them. So 7 overall median score with me in an 8, Matt Kelly in a 6, and I think I was kind of being nice with an 8. I just like I said, I too many loose holes in this storyline. Storyline was good, match quality, like I said, too long, ending sucked. Let us know what you think. We'll be coming with more Wrestle SummerSlam reviews,
Sorry,
all this good stuff. Get this shit off the. No, I'm kidding. Roman Reigns, baby. Yeah, good match.
Oh
Just had some
man.
holes. Check out all
You're
of our
all about some
SummerSlam
holes
reviews.
here, man. You're all about some holes at
Oh,
the end of this video.
yeah, you're gonna get plenty of them, and yeah,
Oh
it's
goodness
just another one.
gracious.
It's cool to kind of go back and see, though. Like this was 2023, and WWE's trying to build stars, but they're also shooting themselves in the foot. So
WrestleMat's the place where you come for loose holes, apparently. Oh boy. All right, that's Roman Reigns, Jey
putting that in.
Uso. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso.
You
SummerSlam. We'll see you next time.